Hi there, guys. It is Jason of 2 Blue MTG, and here we have little bit of a different video. My top 5 EDH Generals. I'm grading these on how fun they are to play, how fun they are to play against, somewhat in the realms of how good they are, and also, yeah, mainly just those two. How fun they are to play, how fun they are to play against, and to a degree, how good they are. It might not be like in the best order of how good they are, but let's get onto the list. First, we have Chase Friends Prodigy. I have had a deck on the sky twice already, when they had some revisions, and well, first of all, as a commander, he's really good utility. First of all, bringing out for 2, drawing and discarding, card filtering is always something that's good. Especially if you can get him out turn 1, that's even better because then you can start drawing and discarding on turn 2. And then when he flips, it's just amazing utility. That's why I loved him as a commander. It's just in a combo control deck to where I can reuse things over and over again. Because digging through time twice in a turn for only 4 mana is really, really good. And if he dies after one time, it's only 4 mana to bring out the next time. And then after that, you're probably not going to cast it because you're going to be ahead with all the utility you're going to be getting off of him. He's pretty good as a commander, and he's really good in the 99 of most blue decks because getting that much utility off of something and recursion and reuse is just great in any blue deck. Be able to draw more, bounce more, all that. It's really allows for a very interactive, interacts with the graveyard, helps you interact with other people, just really makes it a little bit more of an interactive game, which is why I really like it, because it allows you to do more, which is awesome, especially in a combo control deck like I built. Now on to number 4, Sigard, a Host of Herons. This can be actually a very, very good commander. If you build her a very degenerate Voltron, get her out turn 3, 4, and then just load up a bunch of auras on her and swing for lethal, because her and all of her enchantments are probably going to be pretty hard to remove, and swing for that lethal 21 commander damage really easy when she is a 5/5 flyer in the air to begin with hexproof. So again, can't stop removal, basically only sweepers and sack effects are, no, not even sack effects are going to remove her. I almost forgot about that, but basically your only realm of getting rid of her is a sack effect, which is also why it makes her generally her enchantress decks, all those hard to remove because they can't be sacrificed. And I've seen her built 2 ways and seen her in a deck. The deck I've seen her in was a Bant Can't Lose deck commanded by Angus Mackenzie with stuff like Platinum Angel, Platinum Empyreon, Sigard, and Avacyn, Angel of Hope. This to make your board state really hard to remove, giving all your permanents hexproof. And then this thing allows for Annihilator triggers not to work, and all that. And then, like I said, she can be a little bit more of like an interactive, just general enchantress deck, for the fact of her enchantments are therefore harder to remove, which is always great in EDH where there is plenty of spot removal. And more or less, you're not going to be really sacrificing artifacts or enchantments, but I know there are a few spells that had happen to me where everybody sacrifices artifact or enchantment, and that is going to be asymmetrical, so it's not really going to hurt you. So that's mainly what I've seen her as. I really like her as that general enchantress theme where he's playing very efficient enchantments that do give you just good value for what you're playing. Similar to just like Abundance and Sylvan Library, that kind of combo. I like her in personally more of something like that, because I don't like Voltron, because to me multiplayer it's EDH, it's more like a multiplayer, fun, very interactive game. So I don't like Voltron where it's like, oh hey, you're dead turn 5. I just don't really find those kind of games too fun. Which is why I really like her, because she doesn't have to be a degenerate Voltron deck. On to number 3, Grenzo, Dungeon Warden. I currently have this as a very, very casual deck for when people don't really want to play Keranos or Jace. Is I don't know. It's black, red Goblin Tribal, and the thing I really like about him is he cheats things into play. It gets around counter spells. It's just a lot of fun to play and play against. It's a very interactive, very creature heavy deck, and this Grenzo is very versatile because you can go Voltron with him. You can ramp with a bunch of Signets, and not really a bunch of Signets, but Signets, Soul Ring, Mana Crypt, Mana Vault, and Thran Dynamo to pump his X up huge, and just swing for lethal. That you can do that too. That's perfectly fine. Or I think what most people do is use him for his ability, like put him at like a relatively low number so you can keep on casting him again and again for 2, just to be able to cheat out very efficient threats. Like I know Herald of Leshrac is a very, very popular card to play with Grenzo, because the fact you're cheating out a 2/6 that has a cumulative upkeep of stealing your opponent's lands, which is honestly just mildly hilarious. And like I said, you don't have to put him up too high, which is why he's absolutely great. And like I said, I currently have him built as a just like a Goblin Tribal deck. It's a lot of fun, not too hard to beat, but it can put up a good fight if I can get some engine going with sack outlets and some other goblins to start building my army and all that. It does have some infinite combos in there, but they're really, really janky, which is why I kind of love it, because it's kind of almost like a Rakdos feel. The colors that aren't supposed to go infinite can go infinite in a real janky way, which I like personally like. My Grenzo. So on to number 2, Borborygmos Enraged. I really, really personally like this guy. I haven't built one, but I've played against and played with this deck quite a few times, because one of the guys that goes to my LGS had this Borborygmos Enraged deck for a while. It ramped harder than any deck I've seen, and I know a lot of people in my play group, we all like to ramp a lot, whether it be artifacts or spells like Kodama's Reach, Cultivate, or on the high end Boundless Realms, where you just get a ton of land out, cast the sky early. Him alone, if he's unblocked, is a 3-turn clock for commander damage. But that's not really what I've seen him do. I've seen him mainly used for his ability of discarding a land, and he deals 3 damage to target creature or player, which is a better seismic assault on a very, very fat stick. Again, like, I never minded losing that ability because it was just mildly amusing watching my opponent discard lands to just essentially drain my life total. And this really can't be too competitive a deck, but it can actually be a very, very strong deck where you can take multiple people out, no problem at all. I mean, there are some great cards for support, like Praetor's Council, I believe, that returns all cards from graveyard to your hand, and you get no maximum hand sight for the rest of the game. So you kill one opponent, return them all back, kill another. It's a lot of fun. It's a very interactive deck. It's somewhat simplistic. Again, it's just like a red-green ramp deck. To me, those are like almost iconic to EDH, just because of, like, you see them. They're fun to play against. They're fun to play with. Yeah, it's kind of fun to see what you're going to do for, like, the next fatty. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of like, I like swing with big creatures occasionally. Now, on to number 1. I'm not sure if I alluded to this in the video at all. My bad, I don't really remember. But number 1 is Keranos, God of Storms. Personally, this is my favorite deck to date that I have ever built. is because it's fun, it's interactive, it draws cards, and most importantly, it destroys lands. And me being a control player, I love to hear the collective groan of everybody going, again, as I boom or bust their lands, leaving them behind in the game and adding another half hour on. And of course, having counter spells to back it up, and having mana rocks that don't get destroyed along with the lands. So, of course, I'm going to be ahead. Which is why I love this. And as for a commander, yes, he's a 5-drop in those colors. Not going to get him out too early most often. But he either draws you an online card, which is either going to be utility, counter, or draw, and deals 3 damage. This is probably mainly best in 1v1 or 2v2. But in multiplayer, it can do work. Mainly if you can keep all of your opponent's lands to a low and go down the very, very few creature beatdown route. That is in this deck of beating down with Keranos and Consecrated Sphinx. I have done that before. Again, it's just great utility, is indestructible. It's very hard to remove unless he is a creature, which he is not that often in my deck. I don't want him to be. It makes him easier to move. I just kind of want him to sit there, get me incremental value over the game, and just try to outlast my opponents. Again, it's very interactive. It can do well in multiplayer. It can do good on 1v1 or 2v2, just because of how much value is there and how I built the deck. I don't know. This might just be like the blue player in me, but I do like destroying lands and setting people back and then countering the things that they play when they only have a few lands and getting rid of them more, not just prolonging the game, which isn't always the best because sometimes I do have time restraints, but it's just fun. It's a pretty interactive control deck, and like I said, my favorite thing about it is the collective groan when I destroy everybody's lands multiple times. Well, I would say that is it for this video. I thought I'd do something different, and I do have hopefully a gameplay video coming on the way. I will try to get it up within 2 weeks. I plan on that being my next video for the channel because I have a problem with a camera that works. So I finally found somebody that might, and also time for me. It has been a little bit tight recently. For example, I'm doing this thing at almost 2:30 in the morning, and I gotta be up at about 6 o'clock. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like if you liked it, dislike. I don't care about you guys that dislike this video. Subscribe if you like it and would want to see more of our content over here. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get the other people I collaborate with. I do have people that do run this channel for me because I don't always have time to check everything. Also, I do have an email that's twoblue.public@gmail.com to email your comments, questions, concerns, any of that. You feel free to contact me there. And again, have a good rest of your night. I hope you enjoyed the content. Hope you like something different for a change that isn't as long. I just plan on going a bit longer than I anticipated. I'm sorry if I repeated myself quite a few times. But have a good night, and good night, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is. Have a good rest of your day. Have a good rest of your night. This may sound kind of cheesy, but stay positive, and catch you in the next one.